correctly. Okay, we are in. Yep, everything. I hope everything will be fine. I need to drop a link to my socials. Oh my fucking god, is it lagging on your side? My browser is lagging for. Okay, no, it is not lagging. Okay, fine. So, hello everyone. This episode will be with the person who actually making GD YouTube actually interesting, I should say. The events he's doing, the stuff he's making, the revolutions he is doing right now for the game and for the actual quality for future, I should say, future YouTubers on this platform is the MatMart. So, MatMart, are you on Deafened? Just let's yap for a bit.
MatMart, far and beyond.
Yep. By the way, don't you ask yourself why did I choose this title in particular?
Because I'm far and beyond the best creator of all time. That's
yo, of course, yeah.
I'm so fucking humble.
No,
oh, wait,
like
for 30 seconds of the video.
Nah, it's going to demonetize. I don't fucking care. I don't have monetization on my channel.
All right.
I'm surviving on donations.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm washed. I post like 3 videos a year, but trust me, this year will be different. This year is at least 12 videos this year, and like 1 million streams. Trust.
Yeah. Like so. Okay, let's start yapping about actual topics here. So, first of all, this is like a shame that you've got the last place in in GD Awards. It's actually
I'm so hurt.
Yeah, like why? Like why did you like just got fumbled like this? This is like unbelievable.
Wait, are you asking me why I think I got 6th place or like?
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I'm the least relevant creator in here when you count like everything. Like, I mean, look at my competition, bro. I got Doggy, Vortrox, Colin, Sputniks, and Audiovisual. And even Audiovisual, like he's a streamer. He has like his fans, you know what I mean? So like he probably has like, you know, jury people who voted for Audiovisual, right? So yeah, just in general, I'm the least relevant of these best video people. And I do think Sputniks did deserve to win this year. I do think my video is like on like an equal level with Sputniks, or like, you know, slightly higher or lower depending on what your preference is. But yeah, Sputniks, other than my video, is definitely my favorite video this year. So yeah, he definitely deserved the win. To be honest, I don't think most people probably even looked at my video because I mean the title is just Geometry Dash, but you are the spike. It looks like one of those like normal like stream highlight gameplay challenge types of videos where it's like people don't expect like insane quality when they click onto it. So I get why no one probably like looked at it. But yeah.
Yeah,
I got 6th place because of the video quality. No, I got 6th place because I have 0 clout. So
yeah, that's actually interesting that you have 0 clout, but you like generally have one of the best content on this platform. Like for example, the Geometry Dash civilization is like actually a like greatest idea I've ever heard. Like, and you just hosted the 2nd iteration of it, right?
Yeah.
By the way, when it will finish? When like all the levels will be beaten or what?
Okay, well, I have no idea when the levels are going to be beaten because I'm not part of the teams. I don't really control that. I know that Cognito Hazard is already out. I know that Kiba's planning to do stuff with the crossing, but I'm not sure what he's going to do with the crossing because if he keeps the level with the same gameplay, if he keeps the level with the same exact gameplay that I had during the civilization, it's pretty much unplayable, and I doubt that gets rated. If he, you know, completely butchers the gameplay, removes every like interesting aspect of it, I honestly think that level's probably only going to get an epic. But there's like a weird middle ground he could strike there where he could try to do like experiment, but like in a different way, and maybe that could get legendary. As for the status of the other 3 levels, I have no idea. I think in general people were stalling a long time because Geode wasn't out, and creators low-key need Geode nowadays, and all the mods that come with that. So yeah. So I mean, I think they'll release eventually. As for my video, it'll probably come out sometime between like August and December, if I had to guess, this year. It's a long video, you know what I mean? It's like a very intimidating project for me to take on.
Yeah,
So
of
I'm trying to
course.
do a ton of other stuff before I get to Civilization directly, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually, oh my god, my stream crashed a little. Thank you very much. And it's back up, okay? Never mind. So, this is actually interesting to hear. I should say, yeah, this is actually interesting to hear about the civilization in general, because like we have a platform mode, but why did you choose the like classic mode instead of like platform mode for the second season, second episode? I don't know, like second iteration of this event. Why still stick to the classic mode?
All right, so with the first Civilization, in my opinion, the first Civilization had a really good idea, but in my opinion, the video wasn't that good, which is why I'm gonna try to make sure that the second video is as good as possible. The reason why I say the first video isn't that good, and this sounds unrelated, but I'll get to your point. Like this video is under 12 minutes, despite the fact that it took like weeks to record, and like there's like over 100 players or 100 players in the story and whatever, right? So why is the video only 12 minutes? It's because one, I felt so overwhelmed by the project that I eventually just rushed it out. And yeah, that's like pretty much it. If I and at first I wanted to make this video like an hour-long video, like the civilizations that I saw, but I was like, this is just too big of a project for me to take on realistically. So then I was just focusing on other stuff. So that was definitely the wrong move with that civilization, which is why I want to make sure that this second civilization does everything correctly. Now, as for why I chose normal mode instead of platform mode is because a lot of the big players like Zoink Doggy or whatever, I had no idea if I was going to be able to get them on this, but everyone acknowledges that the top player community is largely with the demon list. People don't really care about the top platformer list community. I do. One of them is going to feature in one of my future videos, but for now, yeah, people mainly care about like side scrolling and stuff. Those tend to be the levels that get the clicks. Honestly, like platformer mode on YouTube, like aside from certain YouTube content, like ironically Geometry Dash, but you were the spike, it's just not really hitting. So I think the viewers seem to generally prefer the normal, gameplay style in terms of watching it. And I also think that just the evolution from 2.1 to 2.2 gave creators so many new tools that people would be able to make way crazier stuff than what Art of the Blade was back in 2.1. And
Oh my god!
yeah, I would have to agree. And yeah, no, they did end up making a ton of crazy stuff with 2.1 and stuff.
Yeah, and just 2.2 gave people opportunity to make everything they want, like generally everything, like no joke. They have like actually instruments for making like I don't know, boards for the games, like complicated stuff, like simulating real physics, I guess. So anything is possible right now in GD, anything. So, but in platformer mode actually can provide this in terms of like platformer mode can get access to like more buttons and to more ways to work with new triggers. But the classic mode, as we like see, I don't know what can I actually like Aperture, for example. Do you remember Aperture?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this level is actually like nuts in terms of like it have like its own like 3D renderer. I should say like the 3D simulator that simulates the motions in like third plane. That's actually crazy if we speak about this, like damn. And like seeing levels in Civilization, like the second one, that's I am saying that these levels are not that utilizing the new features. Agatha, I'd say the Agatha, like the one of the 5 levels of the final list. Is it final or not? I don't remember.
Well, yeah, there's 5 levels, one for each game.
Yeah, so the Agatha, for example, is like actually utilizing 2.2 features well, but not that really. As well as like any level here. Like the cognition hazard is like Whiskit level. No one will beat it in like several 100,000 years. So, and like etc etc. So like the classic mode is actually restricting people to make something good, in my opinion, in terms of like the general usage of the triggers. Like this my point of view of this. So
Yeah, well, okay, so yeah, to further explain, right? If each team has 2 players, right? These 2 players are generally picked from the demon list. Sure, I could have had it be like 1 demon list player, 1 platformer player, but I think you could quickly see how it becomes awkward if people have to do like 2 platformers and then 3 like normal levels. And also, I think platformer levels allow for infinitely more exploitation of triggers to the extent where it becomes kind of unhealthy to watch. And by that I mean, I think Art of the Blade struck a good balance last year in the first Civilization event because it wasn't too hard to decrypt, right? I think Team 4's level in this event was too hard to decrypt realistically, which is why they lasted until the end. And yeah, that is like it's pseudo public, that information. But yeah, Team 4 came up with a gimmick so complex. I'm like, how is anyone actually going to solve this? And I was right. No one solved it to this day. So with platformer, you could do a ton of insane like bad to watch stuff in platformer that like no one could really do anything against. Because at least that's just my opinion, right?
okay,
If I do a Civilization 3, there might be platformer mode. I'm not sure. I probably won't do a Civilization 3, but it really depends. If Civilization 2 gets like 5 million views, sure, I'll do a Civilization 3. Otherwise, the first event or the second event was honestly probably too much stress for what it's worth.
I've actually applied to the Civilization event too, but I got rejected. Sadly, but
That's rough, buddy.
yeah. I knew that I will compete like with like tops of this like of this game. Still, this is crazy that you got like 100 people here. Like this is insane.
Yeah, the Civilization 2 roster is insane because pretty much every creator that was accepted had at least epic standard levels, and the ones that didn't were people who were known for other crazy stuff. Like H-Tank doesn't have an epic level, but he's one of the best creators in the game because he knows triggers and he's the orbit ball pit and the end is here train, right? So you have people like that combined with all these like epic and legendary and even mythic tier creators, and it's like, oh my god, this is a crazy event. Way crazier roster than the first one. The first one, I was low-key, if you knew how to create, you were pretty much in the first one because, not that many people applied in comparison. There were at least like like over 10 creators that had like 0 rated levels, and honestly, they probably didn't deserve to have any rated levels. But you look at it's why some of the worst creators ended up in teams like Team 9, which made the worst Civilization level of all time. But yeah, that's all besides the point. The Civilization 2 roster was stacked, and if the video does well, then if Civilization 3's roster is even more stacked, I fear what that might look like in a good way.
Like how it will be more stacked that you have like actually top of the tops in like Civilization 2. Like how it will be even possible.
In Civilization 3 is like, nah, man, we got Darwin, we got Serpunge, we got fucking Funny Game is back. You know what I mean? Like that would be the Civilization 3 level. I'm kind of kidding. Well, Serpunge is actually in Civilization 2, which is really cool. He's, in my opinion, the greatest creator of all time. But yeah, we got so many insane creators.
Yeah. And like actually, about the Serpunge you've like mentioned, he's one of the greatest creators of all time, but not in 2.2, in my opinion.
I mean, I'd say he's pretty much the greatest creator of all time. I don't think anyone else really has an argument. If you want to say other creators peaked higher, sure, but I mean, Funny Game, who a lot of people put in the Mount Rushmore, he hasn't really created any levels publicly since like 2017.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At a certain point, Funny Game was active for like 3 or 4 of the years of this game's now over like 12-year history, and it's like, are we really still comparing Funny Game and Serpunge? Like, Funny Game has a really high peak in 1.9 and 2.0, and even before that, but Serpunge has just been so good for so long that it's like, this guy made Master Game, Castlemania, like...
he's levels for the NCS event, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, wait, which one? Okay, which was the NCS Serpunge level? I don't remember it being that crazy.
Like, with the train one. I don't remember the name, but the training.
Wait, you mean okay? No, that wasn't for the gauntlet. That was for the you mean the events? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Electra. Yeah, that was pretty difficult for a level. I mean, it's good. It's solid. I can't say the gameplay was my favorite, but like, yeah. I will say I really liked the Echo Delta, and I liked let me see here, Coaster Mountain. I like those two levels.
Yeah, that's actually yeah. Okay, if we speak about levels, in terms of like viewability for the people on YouTube, if we like will stick to the like content creation topic, like, is it possible to actually make platformers viewable for the viewers? In your opinion, like,
yeah, of course. Well, I mean, look at the best video candidates this year. Literally, I'm pretty sure 3 out of 6 of them feature platformer in such a direct way. Like, Sputnik's entire thing is a game that's in platformer mode. My entire thing is Geometry Dash But You Are the Spike, which is a sequel to Geometry Dash But You Are the Level. In the first one, it was the side-scroller modes, right? But in the second one, I decided to go with platformer. The reason I went with platformer was because there gets to be more mind games between the player and the whatever, right? If I'm controlling things in Control 1, at a certain point, there's like certain times where I could press like the laser button and there's literally nothing the other player could do. But with platformer, there's always the double thing of like, oh, are they going to juke me? Like Zoink did continuously. And I think that level of mind games adds an extra layer of interestingness to platformer mode, which does make it viewable. And then you look at Colin's video, his April Fool's video, and that's all takes place using the tower levels, which, I mean, I was having conversations with creators. They were like, yo, no one's really getting any views off of the tower specifically, so I'm probably not going to make any tower-based videos. And then here comes Colin with this April Fool's thing. And it's like, oh, my God. So I really think you get views with either platformer or normal mode. I really don't think it matters. Like, people like both.
Yeah, and like, for me, it's actually one of the greatest YouTubers who utilizes platformer right is the Moldy. Like, Moldy making his levels like actually interesting. And by the way, about the platformer mode, I guess this is my theory, but Globed is not out yet for 2.208 because of the integration of the synced groups and triggers for the multiplayer mode, right? Am I right?
No, Globe's not out because the creator is looking to optimize how the thing is coded. I really don't know how it works. But yeah, to my knowledge, that's the only reason Globed isn't out so far on 2.208 is because one, the creator is part of Geode, so he was working really hard on that. And two, he wanted to reorganize Globe's code in the first place so that it runs simpler and lags less. After Globe 2.208 is released, I honestly have no idea when the event like trigger stuff will be released, because honestly, so far with the creating teams that I've had experience with, right? Because we have access to the mod, it's been really hard to work with. I honestly have no idea if it was released to the public, like what people would even be able to do with it. I mean, especially stuff like PvP is really, really tough. I could imagine more simpler things being made though.
Yeah, but I was actually spoke with like tops of Russian YouTube. We actually like gathered and like spoke about the content in the future, and we just got on the point that we don't have a proper multiplayer stuff for the game. Like for example, like you did with like Globed stuff, like PvP or like the tag as one of your examples you've provided to the people. Yeah. And we actually like, if we could get access to the proper multiplayer, it will be actually bang in terms of like content. Because like people will see actual interactions with like YouTubers will interact with each other on these levels. Like we can like actually make levels like inspired by 2-player games like It Takes Two or A Way Out, I guess. It will be actually awesome to see.
It Takes Two somewhat. Globe has collision things. You could jump on the other player.
Yeah, but
and also, I've seen X Creator Gold do a very simplified version of 2-player, where, I mean, if you connect to someone else on Parsec, as long as the level isn't like super demanding gameplay wise, if it's like just a puzzle level, for example, the amount of frame lag that you have when clicking on someone else's parsec screen won't matter. And that's how I do geometry dash, but you are the spike. You are the spike has 0 globe in it. What that is me using parsec to connect to someone else's computer. And because I'm the controller, it doesn't matter that I have like, lag when I click. If anything, that makes it more fair for the contestants. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's actually like how things work for like some of the levels that people made for the decoder or motherfucker. These two people, I guess. The second one,
I know they exist.
Yeah.
I can't really watch any of their content because I don't speak Russian. But yeah.
Yeah. But their content just like, I don't know, like for the ages of like 12 to 14, I guess, like something like like.
I mean, I don't know. Describe a mafaka or decoding idea, and I'll tell you if I think it's cool. I guess if you want. Or
Okay, let me check. Actually, let me check if Oh, by the way, Gilbits, he just joined us. I just saw him like appearing in the chat. By the way, hello. Let me check. Actually, let me check. Please, thank you. But we added extreme coins in GD.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like someone's had that idea, but
yeah, like we buffed Robtop levels using only 100 spikes.
I think they might be the first people to buff Robtop levels. I don't think anyone's done that before.
No, like, do we count war trucks?
No, we count fucking Neptune, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah. You would say like,
dude, Neptune's been doing this since the jump, bro. Dude, if Neptune knew how much views Vortrox would get, he'd probably still be in the community, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being Neptune and thinking like, yeah, man, I bet no one's gonna make like 40K a video off of like my future idea, man. Like, nah, man, Neptune would not be working a normal job right now. But instead, this guy's just entirely ghost from the community.
Damn, actually about like remakes, like the teased 8-minute extension of Skeletal Shenanigans by Wabu. Oh my god, like what is even happening with this game? Like I saw some snippets of this level. Okay, this level is a banger. Okay, yeah, I know that's like actually the trio who made the original song.
Which one? Which level?
Skeletal Shenanigans.
Yeah. What about it?
Like I've said that Wabu like teasing his like $100,000 8-minute extension to this level. Did you saw that actually?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I mean, Wabu's told me about it himself. The 100,000 figure. I'm not sure how much I could say on it because
stuff can be private.
I'm not gonna say much on it, but most of it wasn't put into the level. You know what I mean? Most of it's put into the merch business. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I know that he's doing like merchandise and actually getting so much money out of like his other channels and merch he's producing. So like good for him, by the way. He chose the great path in terms of like monetization of his content. So he's actually doing great stuff, and like actually like doing like 100 figure level is insane. In like, okay, I know that it is like how should I say the marketing, like a marketing move, but still like dang. Like I remember when people, I remember when people actually butthurted by the fact that Vernon paid to creators for his collabs, like for the Cherry Team collabs. I remember like how people got furious about this, and now what we have, like Come on, dude.
No, I've never cared about that because from my perspective, Geometry Dash has always been an art form, right? And I know that people are thinking like, oh, but this was a pure art form, you know, it was untainted by greed. And I get that, but at a certain point, like, if we're gonna respect Geometry Dash,
wait.
Actually, like a marketing expense, he actually puts most of the money into the company. So it is smart to call it a $100,000 level, but that's not really what it is.
No, we spoke about.
Were we talking about something else?
Yeah, we actually spoke about like how people got furious when just people getting money out of commissioning like bots for the level.
Yeah, no, I remember now. So look, this was my opinion, right? If we're gonna respect Geometry Dash on the same level that we respect things like paintings or movies or whatever, then at a certain point there needs to be a facet of it that is paid work, right? We've always had paid work in a way with things like creator contests. Even back in 2014, these existed. Except back then the payouts were like, oh, here's a $5 Steam gift card, and now you're in the gauntlet, which is really funny to think about. Like, unironically, man, I remember seeing that in the Crystal Gauntlet rewards, and I'm like, damn, this is cooked, man. No one has money in this community. But now we've advanced to a point where creators actually can get paid for what they do, and I think that is cool. Now, in terms of like, adding moneyed interests makes it so that the level is worse. I think that can sometimes apply depending on the host's direction. I'm not going to say anything about certain levels that have come out with that whole like paid model, but to me it's really hard to remember a lot of them. Meanwhile, I remember every single Mindcap collab, and I think that's because he does certain things differently that certain hosts with less of a vision don't really think about. I can go into that if you want. At least my philosophy as to why I think Mindcap, like every
go on. This is actually interesting, and I actually want to actually speak about my perspective as a person who actually got in touch with many hosts in my career. So yeah, go on. I want to hear your opinion.
Sure. And of course, this is coming from me who has like zero creator point knowledge, so take this at your own risk. But when was the first time you heard about Mindcap?
Orbit, of course.
Okay, Orbit. Most people, the first time they heard about him is Limbo. But I remember him back in the Gamma days. This is because Gamma placed like top 3 in the demon list.
You know, wait. Did you wait for a second? Like, what's your question? Like when I first knew about Mindcap?
Yeah, when you first heard about Mindcap.
I thought like recent. Yeah, I've heard of Mindcap because of Gamma 2, because I saw like new top 3 got verified. I was like, okay, this level is kind of sick, not gonna lie.
Does anyone really talk about Gamma nowadays though? Like,
no.
What really stands out about Gamma, right? All that really stands out to me is that it was a difficult level, right? And this applies to Mindcap's next few levels, most of which I can't remember the names of, but it's probably things like, you know, Sigma or Delta or whatever, because that's what you used to call his levels, things like the Greek letters, right? And maybe Mad Mansion. I do like Mad Mansion as a level, but it's probably not really memorable, right? But yeah, Mindcap completely changes this when he drops Limbo. Why is Limbo different? Because one, Mindcap knows how to pick his roster unfathomably well. He filled Limbo up with a ton of OG creators. Many people who you'd normally think like, okay, are these guys still cooking anymore? But then you look at how their parts combine and you're like, holy shit, this actually really works. When you get OGs like Findexy, Vismith, etc., right? These guys who really know how to make gameplay. Oh, let's put Carmel in the level. Carmel, in my opinion, is the second best part in Limbo, only second to the actual wave, like if the final wave. The final wave, by the way, made by Crone44. This is most people think it was made by Mindcap, but yeah, Crone44 did the actual gimmick, right? So you have all these creators combining, right? You got Stormfly, who back in the day was known for his sort of like challenge style gameplay. If you look at his like, I think it's called like Messing Around, that whole series.
Yeah,
I think if a lot of those levels were made to real levels, it would be super memorable, right? So the main theme of Orbit is memory, right? Back in the day, most levels, they seem to rely more on like this sort of like wave-based or like straight fly-based gameplay, more skill-based. But Limbo has the specific theme of memory, right? And then Mindcap knows how to finish a level pretty much every time. The way Limbo finishes with the whole like wave pattern thing is one of those things that it's like the Dash Spider meme format where you can put this like the wave thing in like any format, or like the whole like flipping things around, and it's like, oh wait, no, that's just a Limbo meme, right? There's like a level of like memetics that like Limbo has completely decrypted, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. And needless to say, Mindcap has and one more thing. Wio was a creator of a level called Marathon, which I found to be like an insanely good level in terms of decoration. But yeah, Marathon was like I think the longest memory level at the time. So Wio Wio Tio is in limbo, and he makes like the whole like at first like a maze or something, like that basic cube maze at the end, and then he does his own gameplay. So Mindcap just adds so much like great creators to his things that it really culminates into a final thing, right? But ultimately, Limbo is all tied together by a theme of memory, right? A theme that no one else is doing. So when you see that carried forward, what is the theme in every end? Oh, it's a 1.0 level, except everything has to be entirely on grid, and it's entirely cube gameplay. It's Geometry Dash pretty much like stripped down to its most
to the bare bones
aspect. Right. And it works because even in every end, there's a level of distinctness between the parts. Like, oh, we're only allowed to use blocks and spikes. How about we add Carmel, who literally only uses blocks, and it's like, what the fuck? And then, sure, every end is difficult, and it is memorable for its difficulty, but it's memorable for its difficulty because of how little things it needs to do to reach that difficulty level. It's like in a way Geometry Dash in like its purest form, like how 2013 players would have saw an Extreme Demon, right? And yeah, of course you carry this idea onto Orbit. Every single click is an orb. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Orbit was pretty much meant to be viral. And then you look at Heliopolis, right? Heliopolis is of course based on Acropolis, which is probably why it's one of Mindcap's like I guess less memorable levels, because people have already done an entirely slow timing level, but nowadays you still don't really see a lot of stuff like Heliopolis, so that one's still going to be talked about, right? And Mindcap has teased something where it's like, oh, I have a future idea that's based on like a 3-letter word, right? And people have suspected that the idea is called Fly, right? Because people are thinking, oh, imagine if Mindcap made a ship-only level with some sort of cohesive theme, right? So that's what makes Mindcap's collabs hit different to me. I think a lot of people they pick a song and then they pick the parts that they do, and that's like pretty much it, right? But they don't really think about how those parts play into each other. What do you think is the most memorable part of Firework?
Oh,
like what's the most memorable one?
The corridor one.
You're right. Everyone says either that or the 98%, because obviously the infamous moment. But the corridor stands out, right? Why does the corridor stand out? Because it's a theme that you can instantly identify, right? So it's not enough to make a level with a good song. It's no coincidence that levels like I Spy with My Little Eye or Skeletal Shenanigans stand out. It's because they have those memorable, like mascotable bosses, right? Or Crazy 3, right? And it's not just the bosses. You don't need a boss to make a level memorable, as you can see with Orbit and Limbo, right? So I think many hosts just don't understand what makes a level stick into people's minds. And to me, that's like very easily explainable, but like infinitely interesting concepts that people can just, enjoy and talk about, like really give the people something to talk about. That whole thing with even after Limbo came out, there was a thing where it's like, oh, who's going to be the first victor of each key, right? And also, I mean, everyone's talked about this, but after you collect a key in Limbo, there's like a few seconds where you have no idea what's going to happen. And this was, of course, expanded on an Orbit where you don't know what's going to happen for over a minute. But that level of suspense, people like seeing that level of suspense, which is, in my opinion, probably why things like the Hardcore Challenge blew up back in the day in 2021. Even though I was a YouTuber with less than 3,000 subs at the time, when I dropped Hardcore, it instantly, like, it pretty quickly hit like 100K views. I think Hardcore pretty much, let me think. If I look at my channel using like view stats or something, Hardcore, when compared to all past uploads, has like 500 times more views than like every other upload that I did before then.
Oh,
if you,
yeah, I will interrupt you for a second. This, like, the hardcore video is actually the video that introduced you to me. Like, I've saw this video on my feed and I was, whoa, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Hardcore has more views than every other video I made in 2020 and 2021 combined, and you could still add 1 million to those videos, and it still wouldn't reach Hardcore, right? So that shows how important having like a banger idea is, right? So I try to have like the whole like hardcore mindset when thinking of like what new ideas I can bring to my channel. Yeah. So anyways, that's why I think Mindcap is the most memorable host. I don't know how a podcast / interview with me became talking about how like Mindcap makes more memorable levels than anyone, but I think some people find that interesting.
This is your opinion, and like as a person who talks with many hosts, I should say that Mindcap have a sense of the businessman. For example, the 99% death on the Orbit by the Zoink. This is actually like, this is staged, okay? Like, this is staged. like 100%, and I have no doubt about it. It was like it is like obvious, and it like built this suspense as you told about like before, like with Limbo and like with Orbit, and this suspense actually generated so much fucking money for them. For them both, because like because like when Zoink died on 99% of this level, the merch just got sold out. Like he got money on his channel when he re-uploaded it. It just got like almost like 1 million views, or am I like the showcase got 1 million views, but I should say it is not monetized, and the money just go to the Nighthawk, but still, like. The Minecraft know how to make a viral viral level, not as like a cringy TikTok like esque level, but like really thought out viral level that actually can be promoted as a, I should say, as a promotion material for the game itself. Like the Limbo meme is actually a staple of the internet culture. Like forever.
Exactly. Same with the Dash Biter. That's what I mean by like memetics and how that works with levels.
Yeah, like Orbit, for my opinion, Orbit is the laziest collab, like Minecraft's collab ever.
What?
Like, let me explain. Okay, let me explain. So
it's the least lazy. You're not cooking with that.
No, I mean, like, in terms of, like, idea. Yes, of course, the idea that, like, every click is an orb is actually a great idea, and it's a really fun idea to work with. But this level, for me, feels like... This is, like, cooperative, I guess, in terms of, like, the hype or it is for me like Orbit is the least memorable recent collab of like Minecaps, because like it is like just the level that have like funny gimmick, that's all. Like the every end is actually an extreme demon that's have potential that everyone to beat, as like Minecap mentioned, and I agree with him. Like every person can beat this level. Every person.
I mean, every person could beat every level.
No. I mean, like, every end is so bare bones that it's actually side-readable and non-side-readable. Like, simultaneously.
No, I know people say that, but if you're willing to put the effort into beating every end, then sight readability in a level eventually won't matter at all. Like, every end is still ultimately a top 10 demonless level. You still ultimately need an insane amount of time, dedication, and precision. And if you're willing to put that in, then realistically, you can beat an unsight readable level. You know what I mean?
No. No. I mean, like the every end is actually like the level that feel like a final challenge to the person. It's like it's not that scary looking. I should say it's not like it's just like here you go. Here's the gameplay. Go on through it like for 8 minutes. Like the Limbo, for example, as I said, like, and by the way, I'm still like actually baffled by the thing that the initial end screen is not added still, and will not add it, because like the current end screen is too iconic for the level, but still it's actually kind of sad because the end screen is absolutely amazing for 2.1. It's actually mind blowing by the time. And like we have a Heliopolis. The Heliopolis have actually slow timing based level is not that memorable, but what makes it memorable for me is the theming of this level. Like the time reverse in some sort, like bringing the life from the ashes, from the ruins, because like you started from the complete ruins, complete wasteland, and the level rebuilds itself, rebuilds its surroundings. Like to the Egyptian, I should say, Egyptian, or like Arabic town.
I think it's
Arabic city,
Greece, because it's Heliopolis.
Or Greece. No, this is Arabic. This is not not a Greece. It have like Arabic symbols on the signs and the structure. Yeah. Like that's this is so memorable for me because of that. But Orbit, just okay, dude, whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're cooking with your Orbit opinion. But okay, as for if you think the Orbit 99% thing was rigged, I can say that like we honestly will never know if it was rigged. The way it ended up playing out does really work in Zoink and Minecraft's favor, and I do think Zoink was probably partially picked as a verifier, because one, he's Zoink, he's the greatest player of all time, so you could expect him to pretty easily verify a level. But two, I mean, he has so much clout that you could bet him, plugging the merch at the start of every video is giving Mindcap and him so much money. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I don't know if Zoink gets it. I don't know if Zoink gets a cut. If he doesn't, I'd be surprised. But yeah, that's just a very good business decision for Mindcap. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Mindcap is a good businessman. Like for example, by the way, about the memorable collabs, I had a list. No, not had. I have a list of the 80 ideas for the hosts to make levels, and these ideas are actually interesting. But one collab idea in particular is still impossible to make in game. Like with all of the structure, with all of the instruments, it's still impossible to make, or so hard that no one will get this, because how to make a memorable level is to make it interesting to view. And in my idea, I just grabbed a official mashup of Waka's Waka, the rhythm game from Japan, Waka's popular songs, like the official one, like Waka's Super Mega Mix, I should say, if I remember correctly, that consists of 50 songs. And the idea is to make parts actually, how I should say, the parts actually connecting, not collapse in general collapse when you just have one part transitioning to the second part, but this part actually interconnect with each other. Yeah, I remember the word, interconnect with each other, and have two absolutely different styles in one section of the level, and it's actually a meshing up different parts in these intersections, but it's still impossible. And I'm so actually furious about it, because it would be actually memorable collab in terms of do you saw any art clash levels in the game, in terms of professional wise? No. And I wanted to do this because it would be interesting. Art clash? The art clash is actually a term in the art community that means that
okay, it's when two artists draw on the same board, right?
What?
Is that an art clash when two artists draw on the same board?
No. The art clash is actually when the quality or the art style is different in one plane. Really different, or not that different, but noticeable. This is the art clash. So I wanted to represent this in the level, to make the styles, completely different styles mashed together. For example, do you see the 1.8 core level with a sunshine by Anza?
No, I have not seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen sunshine.
No. I mean, in your mind, can you combine these two styles, the modern and 1.8? Yeah, 1.8 core style. No, you can't. And I wanted to represent that in this level, but still, it is so I
mean, actually,
so
collab level kind of comes off as that, because if you think about it, collab is a 1.9 level mixed with surrealist horror, if that makes sense. That, is suddenly very advanced in terms of books.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah, I've just collab level, by the way. One of the Mindcap's collabs. By the way, BB circles. I remember the BB circles. Oh, GGLA Fave, hello. And filled with the glasses in the chat. Hello. So yeah, and the BB circles is actually the funniest thing I've ever played. It's in terms of edging a player, in the game, the feel of edging. I should say the BB circles is. So yeah, the Mindcap can provide great examples of the collabs, and his recent collabs is really great, but still, in my opinion, Orbit is a lack of, I don't know, of something. In my opinion.
Yeah, Anyways, this interview low-key turning into the Mindcap Glaze Fest. So I'm wondering if you have any actual like other questions in regards to what I do.
Yeah,
You want me to talk
I
about it?
wanted,
Yeah.
I wanted actually transition to the next topic here. So, about the collaborations, of course. I want to speak about the collaborations with other creators. What is your ideal collaboration?
Okay, by collaboration you mean me appearing in someone else's video?
Yeah, no, not someone, or just people appearing in your video, like vice versa. Like, what is your
Actually,
ideal
okay.
collaboration?
You want to know? All right, my ideal collaboration already exists. It's like Cobb's video where he adds boss fights to Geometry Dash, and then I have to fight like King Samlot and Colon. To me, that video is so like well made, and Cobb has taken so much inspiration from me that he's almost like a like a new MatMart, if that makes sense. And you know, he's like you know what I mean. He takes my music, my editing style, you know, pretty much so much inspiration for Control T, or from Control 2, right? You are the spike. But yeah, no, I love that because I mean, if you're gonna be inspired from someone, I'm a good choice to be inspired by, you know. And anyways, yeah. So yeah, of course, Cobb got like 1 million views off that. Trying to think. Moldy's videos are also like insanely good. I love collaborating on Moldy's channel, even though I play like the villain character or whatever. I think it's really funny to watch. So yeah. I don't know how much people unironically hate me for Moldy videos, but people sometimes comment on my videos being like, "Why did you betray these people in Moldy's hide and seek video?" And I'm like, "Bro, I was trying to win. I was never on their team. That's not a betrayal, okay?" So anyways, yeah, Moldy and Cobb are pretty good cases of ideal collabs. But I was thinking, right? In my opinion, have you seen a Minecraft Championship?
Of course I do. Yeah. Of
Okay.
course I do.
So I was thinking, why couldn't we just do that in Geometry Dash? And I did put an announcement video out saying that I'd work on something called the Geometry Dash Championship. But honestly, I noticed a lot of the creators I invited didn't really seem too interested in executing the idea. And to me, it's like Geometry Dash Championships is not a video that I'd be able to get a lot of views off of. So I have to put that in the back burner in favor of doing actual ideas that'll give me something back, right? But in my opinion, if the community somehow worked to make like a big streamer event like Geometry Dash Championships or something, like streamer focused, not player focused, which is a very important thing, right? And you have levels that are built like custom mini games for players to, play on. To me, that event would be such a smash hit in terms of streaming that it would just be great. It would be great for unifying the community. Can you imagine if like, Doggy, Zoink, Colon, and me, guys, and me, we're all in the same event. Like that would be fire, right? And my idea was, you invite like 20 to 30 streamers and legacy creators, people who are good for just, you know what I mean? Like you could invite fucking anyone. You could invite like Norkda, Childa, Jazer, Colon, EVW. You could invite so many people and the idea would work. Maybe part of the hype would be like, oh my god, we got Riot for this championship. Not saying that would ever happen, but that would be an example of hype, right? So in my opinion, that would be an ideal collaboration thing if the community could somehow get that to work. I would be down to help with that, but I would not want to like, be the sole worker on that, because if I am the sole worker, then I'm not focusing on my own videos, which I need to do if I want to upload. So yeah, that is a case of my ideal collab. I'm not sure if it's gonna ever happen, but that would be cool.
Yeah, Matt, we're actually going to discuss it after the stream because I'm actually in the verge of making something like this. That's actually crazy.
I mean, yeah. No, yeah, I have creator teams that I try to pay, so I don't know if you have like good ideas for it. That could be a good partnership.
Yeah, I'm always down to provide some ideas because yeah, I'm actually wanted to make some sort of like a friendly competition between like the Russian side of 3D YouTube and streaming versus like the American and the European side of GD, like content creation, in some terms of like the live stream, or with like some challenges and like levels in a platformer mode and non-platformer like classic mode, just for fun and charity. So I don't know if I will make that, but from the Russian side, they're all down actually, so it is actually pretty doable, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, and this actually great. But I've spoke about the modifications in past with many people here, And I'm still thinking that the mods in this game can provide so many content. And for example, for not Micro Championship, for the GD Championship, why don't we like make an actual mod that like revamps the whole like GD in terms of like making a new interface for it, like some inspired for GD World, for example. It will be actually great to see people, like the streamers booting up this, like for the first time and experience it, like, for the first time to see their reactions and see their communications when they build some actual like impact on this. It will be actually great. By the way, did you want to host this on your channel, like the GD Championship?
I mean, okay. So my whole opinion was on this was that like if I'm gonna be involved in like the whole ideas phase, then realistically I can't be a contestant because I can't be a contestant and know what the game's gonna be ahead of time. So I would be the host naturally. Now as for if I would make a video on it, I'm not sure. Like from my perspective, I have a lot of things that I could make a video on that would pay me way more money. But to me, I'm I'm actually interested in seeing this be an idea because I genuinely think it'd be good for the community. So I think that would be interesting. If I'm not involved in the event planning somehow, I'd love to be a player, but if I am, then I probably shouldn't be a player and I should be some sort of host instead. And I'm a pretty good host when it comes to certain things like I guess Civilization 2. Or not I'm not a good host, I'm a host, okay? I play the role of host, okay? Let's just say that.
We actually need to discuss it after the stream because I had so many ideas that I want to share about this event.
Yeah.
With what I'm making.
Oh, and by the way, what you're saying about mods, I think with mods, it's very important to realize that there are so few people who actually make GD mods at a high level that it's very hard to find people to work with. And even once you find people to work with, who knows if they're like unavailable or whatever, right? So I don't know. Ideally, the GD modding community like expands somehow, but I wonder how that's gonna happen or whatever. Because I'm sure there could be a better like modding ecosystem for GD, but as of right now, I sort of do the best with what I have. So yeah, I don't know.
I have some people that's actually helping me right now with my videos, so yeah, like 3 actually, who making like did you saw like the Nuzlocke mod on like the index on the Geode index?
I know that Nuzlocke is a Juniper idea. After she saw the hardcore video, she saw my hardcore video. She did her own hardcore video and got cooked because hardcore is a really hard challenge, and then and then did the Nuzlocke thing because it's like, okay, at least I don't instantly die due to a random bug death. You know what I mean? And by the way, no, Juniper is a better player than me. I think she beat like Deimos or some shit. So like, yeah I'm not even trolling.
And like, I've actually commissioned this mod to one of my fellow friends who is a modder of this game. And like, I wanted to make a video about it, but got hooked up with many stuff in my life that I would just say, screw it, just send it over, and I want to see people making the videos about it, and people made videos about it using this mod that I commissioned. It is actually so nuts to see people playing something from like my idea, and it's actually getting some traction to it. Like actually crazy.
Yeah.
Even if it is based on others' idea, but implemented in a better way, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, that just sounds cool.
What inspiration? Like who inspiring you in the content you're making, especially like this civilization thing, because I really want to hear the person who actually inspired you to do this event and other stuff.
So for specifically Civilization, this is really embarrassing to admit, but the only Civilization video that I had actually watched before I made the first Civilization, to my memory, was a Mr. Beast Civilization video. And this is not the new like boys and girls one that he did, because that one obviously like that one happened way after. I mean the one in 2022, right? He made like a Civilization video in 2022 where it was like 5 YouTubers in 20 different in different islands or whatever, and they whatever. But like the video was only like 9 or 10 minutes long from Mr. Beast's perspective. And I remember watching that and seeing how much views it got, and I was thinking, okay, so is this the ideal way to format Civilization, right? So that's partially what inspired me to make that first video, really short. That and making it an hour long, like I initially wanted to, would have been way too demanding for what I was capable of at the time. But going into the second Civilization, I am now more directly inspired by, of course, Ish's Rich and Poor Civilization video and his Massive Civilization video, where it's like, oh, here's a 2-hour behemoth, but you have all these players with their interesting plot lines like Saporata or Fluxion or Seneca, so or Lingulini, right? So you have so many people who are like, holy shit, these are really interesting people to keep track of, right? And you have these emotional plots, narratives, etc. So I was thinking, how could I do that in Geometry Dash Civilization when I do it again, right? And I was thinking there needs to be more interaction between the contestants. That's why there's far more daily events in this one, and there's ways for the contestants to kill other contestants, right? And I was also thinking, sure, I'll let people bring people back, but it needs to come at a great cost. So like 10,000 objects was the great cost in this case. I think I allowed teams to have too many objects in this one, because most teams were not running scarce on objects. You know what I mean? Especially since winning the daily event gave you like 10,000 extra objects. So eventually, objects just became more of a currency to be able to revive someone. But yeah, part of the reason why I gave teams so many objects to start with in the first place was because I don't want to invite like all these goated creators like Subwoofer and ZipXbox and all these other people, and then they can only create like 10 objects because of the object count, right? I was like, okay, I gotta let them make legendary worthy stuff, and Cognito Hazard is legendary, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm very inspired by Ish going into the second Civilization event, but I've been keeping up with certain other YouTubers like Speed Silver and Mind of Neo, and I'm like, damn, these guys make really good videos. So I'm definitely trying to see how I can integrate more of that style into these Civilization videos going forward.
So you have like massive inspiration from the Minecraft YouTube, right?
Yeah, well, for specifically Civilization, yeah. If you want, I could talk about my inspiration with other content, because my inspiration with a lot of other content is also Minecraft YouTube. Okay. Yeah, you want me to talk about that?
Yeah. Of course, go on.
So of course, the Geometry Dash Hardcore Challenge was inspired by Filza after he died in his 4-year long hardcore world. I was like, oh my god, this is like a news story, right? How could I do this in Geometry Dash? And I was thinking to myself, okay, but in Geometry Dash, there's so much attempts, there's so many opportunities to die. Can you really just get 1,000 stars without dying once? And that seemed so impossible to me, but I was like, I gotta try. So then I made that video, and at the time, I had this I think this writing board where it's like I ranked ideas based on each other, right? And I looked at like 20 things that make for a good idea in YouTube, right? And hardcore filled all 20 of those check marks. And I remember that the only other like ideas that I had that I considered to be good at the time was like a Jonathan GD creator review, because Jonathan GD was kind of trendy, right? So I have the whole script for like a Jonathan GD and Xylonox level review, but those videos will never come out. You know what I mean? There's just no point nowadays, right? After Hardcore Challenge, Hardcore Challenge had more like points on the virality scale that I determined, right? So I decided to go for Hardcore Challenge first. And then after Hardcore Challenge went viral, I was like, okay, that's great. I guess this whole like idea system I have works. So then the next best idea was, what is Geometry Dash's worst level, right? And I don't know how exactly I came up with that. I don't know how I came up with what is Geometry Dash's worst levels, but I think it was based off let me see here. If I look up the Wifey's channel, I remember taking inspiration from a Wifey's thumbnail, or Wifey's. Let me see here. Okay, all his most popular stuff now is the ARG stuff, but back then he used to make different content. I'm trying.
Yeah, I know. Like about the escape.
Yeah. Okay. So
escape maps,
he has certain videos like what is the best way to bridge in Minecraft, right? So to me, I logically extend that to, okay, well, if people are interested in what is the best way to do something, they might be interested in what the worst thing is, right? And I already had made level reviews in the past, so I was thinking, what if I could find the legitimate worst level on the Geometry Dash servers? I think that would be pretty interesting, right? So people look at a title like, what is the worst level in Geometry Dash? And they think like, oh, is this video going to actually answer a question? I'm very interested in seeing this question answered. And back in this day, people didn't really make post-commentary challenge to make stuff. Hardcore is literally the first video of its kind. I challenge anyone to find an older GD video that's like Hardcore. But yeah, Hardcore was based off stuff like the 100 Days series by Luke the Notable, right? Where he, you see his gameplay, but it's all in post-commentary, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the way that, if Hardcore Challenge was made by anyone else at the time, it would have been like some sort of like stream highlights thing, right? Like, oh, I died, oh no, right? But in my case, it was just all post commentary. I tried to like fill in jokes for every Rob Top level, which is really hard to do because every joke you could think of that's been made on Rob Top levels has been made. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
Eventually, Hardcore Challenge came out with that whole like mainly scripted style, and it worked. And then I wanted to make sure to not pigeonhole myself into just doing hardcore videos or just being the hardcore guy. So I immediately made sure to follow up with the what is the worst level in GD thing. And then, yeah, in terms of Minecraft content, I always take inspiration from Minecraft content, but I'd say a pretty big inspiration is Technoblade, because Technoblade makes these like sort of simplistic videos, but his personality adds so much to the videos, right? But not only that, but he has very like funny to watch, like instantly understandable ideas. So, for example, Geometry Dash but Random Gravity is based off of Technoblade's Gravity Anchor video. Let me think of another one. Yeah, it's based off destroying friendships with the Minecraft Gravity mod. And then let me see here. Trying to find another one. Oh yeah, Potato War. Potato War sort of inspired hardcore, but that's for a future time. And
Oh,
yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, of course, a lot of Technoblade's PvP based ideas are hard to replicate because Geometry Dash is not a PvP game yet. But yeah. Let me see here. So yeah, Technoblade and Schlatt are probably my favorite YouTube personalities. So I'd say that my personality, probably the biggest three inspirations are Tommy Innit, Schlatt, and Techno. You could, I play such a dickhead character in moldy videos that I definitely come off as like a Schlatt-esque figure.
yeah, I saw that's like resemblance of Schlatt actually.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
actually
in my
yeah.
opinion, this is like slight off tangent, but my favorite YouTube stream of all time is Jay Schlatt and Technoblade in Minecraft Monday Week 7, where they are able to win against all odds despite Jay Schlatt being a trash player. And it's just like the sheer amount of like energy and like excitement that they have in that stream is like, oh my god, man, I love this. That's why that's like streams like that are partially what makes me think like, oh my god, it would be so cool to have this in a Geometry Dash Championships event like this, right? Because you see the amount of hype that these guys have for like Minecraft Monday, and they're like, "Oh my god, we won this!" Right? And not nowadays, Jay Schlatt is a millionaire who doesn't give a shit about anything. He's like kind of jaded, right?
Yeah.
But man, just seeing these guys just super happy to win like $5,000 back in the day is just like, man. I always watch that stream and I'm like, damn, this is fucking peak, dude. I really wish that we could make something like that in the GD community. That's
Oh,
part of why I like the idea
yeah. Wait,
of
I
GD
will go.
championships.
Yeah, I will go off track a little bit. Isn't like week 7 is where Impesta joined this, or was he like in the Hunger Games events with Technoblade? I don't actually remember.
Okay, so the one that Impesto was in, he wasn't in Minecraft Monday. Minecraft Monday, there's not a single GD YouTuber that is in Minecraft Monday. What you're talking about is Minecraft Ultimate, which is separate from Minecraft
Oh
Monday,
yeah,
but it was
yeah.
this like parody stream, right? And that's where you see people like
Semifying.
Nepesta Juniper, Zero, funnily enough, Samifying, and Violin Villain, and Souls TRK, I think. There's several GD YouTubers that were in MC Ultimate. And if you don't know who I mean by violin villain, just think of another instrument and the opposite of a villain.
No, I know this person. I know.
Yeah.
I'm an old too, so I'm playing since like 1.1, so I know I know many
Oh yeah,
stuff
I mean
about
everyone
this
knows
game.
this guy. It's just people don't instantly make the connection from violin villain to the other guy, Mr. Copyright Strike himself.
Yeah,
But yeah,
don't speak about this man. Like,
yeah. Okay, so as for other content inspiration, I put this in my rivalry documentary, but in my opinion, the four biggest people who've inspired me are C1997, of course, because of his old videos. Just seeing the way that this guy used to cover old GD events like Riot versus Cyclic made me want to become a YouTuber like C1997, right? From the jump. And eventually, guys like FitMC and Empleman definitely inspired me more from like a like script and voicing perspective. Like even the voice I sort of put on now almost feels like a mix of FitMC and Empleman. Like the way that FitMC speaks on this. The titles of certain videos that I've made, like The King of Geometry Dash, which is based off 2B2T's History of Kings, or The Day Geometry Dash Almost Died, which is based on the day 2B2T almost died, right? FitMC is a huge inspiration. I wish he made more content, but uh, yeah, man. FitMC's a goat. And Empleman's made two of my favorite videos ever, which is his Hungry Box and Leafy documentary. Those are just peak videos. And well, let's just say in the Leafy documentary, he has a plot twist where he's like, "Oh, well, did you know that YouTube might be the people behind Leafy's downfall?" So I was thinking, how could I make that level of a plot twist for a Geometry Dash documentary? And that's how I came up with the whole like, okay, what if Cyclic didn't actually hack everything? And it is my genuine opinion. I still don't think he hacked anything aside from the Hell Zone and Sonic Wave, and I've yet to be proven wrong. He says that he's hacked everything, but I can't really say I entirely believe him. But that's just my opinion, I guess, right? So yeah, needless to say, oh yeah, and finally, of course, my fourth biggest inspiration is samifying. At the time, after 2020, I thought docs were dead. Back in the day, I know my docs have like tens of thousands of views now, even some in the hundreds of thousands that I made in 2020. But back in the day, they literally all had like 300 views. They've only gotten so many views in retrospect because I grew into a bigger content creator. Uh, Literally, like my first year, 2020 in YouTube, I went from like 150 to maybe like 1,000 subscribers, I think, and my videos normally didn't get above like 1,000 views, right? I used to grind for like 8 hours a day just to drop like a 3 cent worth of video, man. It's crazy. I wish I had that level of grind nowadays. Let me think though. Oh yeah, so when Samifine came out with that funny game doc in like I forgot if it was okay, I think it was early 2022, right?
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh shit!" Or when I saw that blow up, and I was like, "Oh wow!" So maybe my dream of being like this Geometry Dash documentarian actually can be a thing, right? I partially got back into Geometry Dash documentaries because I remember during 2019, Geometry Dash felt like a super dead game to me. It was definitely the dark age. I think when you ask people what's like the least memorable year in Geometry Dash history, 2019 probably comes to mind. And yeah. So I remember seeing this documentary called the Super Smash Brothers documentary, which is made by a guy called Samox, and pretty much it covers the start of competitive melee, right? And a ton of these guys, like these legends of the community, like Ken or Isaiah, right? And that apparently revived the melee community in terms of competitive. It got a ton of people interested in melee to the extent that melee was invited to the biggest tournament, Evo 2013, right? That's the biggest fighting game tournament. And I looked at how that documentary changed how people saw the Smash community and made a whole new generation of Smash players. And I'm like, okay, what if I did that but for Geometry Dash? Geometry Dash is a game I love a lot. So what if I was able to convince people that Geometry Dash was still a great game, right? Which is partially why Geometry Dash documentary episode 1, which is the first video made in the MatMart era, is like it covers Geometry Dash from like a new person's perspective. Like in the title, I call it a simple mobile game, but that's a purposeful misleading, right? I call it a simple mobile game, but the documentary will eventually have the theme that it becomes far more than a simple mobile game, right? But nowadays, everyone kind of knows that. It's not like at the time what I was saying was pretty new or a new way to describe Geometry Dash, but nowadays everyone's described it like that. And I think the first person to do it really successfully was Samifying, because Samifying not only made a video about funny game, but he made a video that applied so well to the normie community that you had people like Atrioc viewing it, right? So despite the fact that I had abandoned docs for a while, this was in an era where like hardcore and what is the worst level were my biggest videos. When Samifying's funny game video blew up, I was like, okay, I can have the passion to make documentaries again for the GD community, right? So that's why my first video was the day Geometry Dash almost died, and it covers the Bloodlust story, but in a more in a different way, a way that I'd never seen the Bloodlust story covered, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that video. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think. Okay, yeah. So I think this is a good storytelling tip for people. The way that the day Geometry Dash almost died is formatted in terms of story makes it way more effective than pretty much any other video that I've seen on Bloodlust before or since, because it doesn't focus on the levels as much as it does the people, right? The two main characters of that documentary are Novel Boy and Mannix. They're involved with every single level, right? And with Mannix, or with Novel Boy and Mannix, you see how they in the documentary, Bloodbath is set up as this massive threat. It's like, oh, this is a level that took 9 months to defeat by Quasar. It was like fucking huge back in the day, right? And then you see that Mannix has somehow made something even more difficult than Bloodbath. Despite the threat that Bloodbath is set up as, it pales in comparison to the threat that Bloodlust is, right? So I thought to myself, how could I make the Bloodlust story interesting? And that's the fact that, in my opinion, Fusion Z and Blade of Justice can actually be pretty important to the story if you make them important. Mannix and Novel Boy both have some involvement in those levels, right? So to me, I made the chapter Bloodlust, right? And it ends at 98% by Novel Boy, right? A normal documentary would be like, oh, it ended at 98% by Novel Boy. Then there was like this year-long gap, and then Novel Boy finally beat it in 100%, right? But then I thought, well, Blade of Justice and Fusion Z were also failures. What if to make the suspense ram up, I not only talked about the Bloodlust 98 death, but then I followed that up with a failure that was Blade of Justice, and the failure that was Fusion Z. And Fusion Z was such a failure that it literally divided Mannix and Novel Boy as like personalities, right? So you see the main two heroes of the documentary, and they're directly versing each other. Novel Boy's like, no, we need this level to, exist and be verified. And Mannix is just like, yo, just drop that shit already. And then you see like the unnerved husk that Blade of Justice has become, which begs the question, if Naboboy had this big fail in Bloodlust, what will Bloodlust become? Will Bloodlust be a failure just like these other two levels? And then you see Redacted come in and he's beating Bloodlust now, right? So then that makes Naboboy's 100% Bloodlust completion even more satisfying, because it's not just the weight of Bloodlust's 98% that Naboboy is carrying on his shoulders. It was the weight of Blade of Justice, of Fusion Z, of everything that had come beforehand. So that's why I think that video might resonate with people. Hopefully.
And I agree, actually, on everything you've said, because, like, to make a suspense, to make people watch the video, you need to create an actual suspense to it. Like, if you, like, for example, you've said, like, the plot twist from one of the documentaries you watched as inspiration. And I remembered, like, my mind just clicked, and I remember summoning Salt. You should know him.
Yeah.
And
the start of episode 3 is based off something Salt.
Yeah, and
episode
like
3 of the GD.
Yeah, and like his video about the Punch Out, where he was just like, oh, and you know, like this like player is me, and like showing he's on top 1 like leaderboard. This like actually blew my mind, and that's how you like actually need to build a suspense or to make a plot twist to actually make people blow their minds by the fact like something interesting happened in your story. If you don't do this, like people won't watch it, or like watch it less like videos that you're watching while you're eating something. Like it's not that viable, okay? Like just like a video you just saw in your feed and just was like, okay, I'll watch it, and like skip the creator like completely after. So yeah, making memorable stuff is actually important in career. And speaking about the GD content, what is the future of GD content and your channel exactly?
Okay, so if you're asking me what I think the future of GD content is in general, it's a good thing that when I came to this community in 2019, it was dead, and I was like, okay, I can be the one to revive this, right? Now, obviously, I was never the one to revive this, but the community was able to do it themselves, right? Through 2020, there was like the COVID boom, the whole like Kino Snapesta thing that became a viral meme, and just in general, the community was boosted with levels like Peaceful and B and things like that, right? Levels that became community fixtures. So I think the good thing is that 2026 GD is sort of better than it's ever been before. I think 2.2 taking so long on one hand hurt the community before 2023, but because 2.2 is so much shit, after 2023, you literally can't get sick of Geometry Dash. There is literally so much to do in this game, and it's unfathomable, right? People thought I was tripping when I said this back in the day in like 2020 or whatever, but I said Geometry Dash is something that, okay, it probably can't be on Minecraft and Roblox's level, but if we're being for real, people in this game can be so creative that I genuinely think it could become the 3rd biggest YouTube game of all time, straight up. And I know people think I'm tripping when I say that, but to me, the level of like longevity that something like Geometry Dash has had, it's already been like 12 or 13 years. Most games don't last this long. I know like GTA 5 is an easy comparison, and GTA 5 is definitely like massive. It's still bigger than Geometry Dash, right? But if we're being for real, I think Geometry Dash reaches a level of balance where not only is it a huge game that has a lot of potential eyes, but the YouTube market still feels wide open for people to take over. There really isn't that much Geometry Dash YouTubers doing this at a high level yet, to the point where like I don't think there's such a thing as like Geometry Dash YouTubers like cannibalizing others in terms of views, right? Because in Minecraft you have to compete with like 1,000 people who are all doing these like crazy editing team things, right? But in Geometry Dash, there's so much opportunity. It is pretty insane, and I feel blessed to be a GD creator, which is partially why I feel bad about, in my opinion, wasting maybe the past 2.5 years of my life. But that's for entirely other different reasons. So I think the future of Geometry Dash content is very bright, especially if people try to push it ideas wise. I think ideally, it's great to see that Colin keeps winning the GD awards, because in my opinion, he's the example that every GD YouTuber should like seek after. In my opinion, Colin's the greatest GD YouTuber of all time, because just his mix of like scripting and creative ideas, I think that's great. And yeah, I think hopefully, honestly, I've noticed a sort of gap in scripting content where, in terms of news, it's largely dominated by like shorts channels like Secret Way. But in terms of like actual long form documentary videos, I honestly can't think of a ton of people doing this that
And
No. Yeah. There's me, Ender, and there's Fresh Lake Water. But we all drop like one documentary a fucking year. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other people. There's other people who, I mean, they do documentaries. They do scripted content. Uh, though their documentaries feel more for like the inner community, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think the average person can click on like a hypo or a wrong way video and really click with it. Like it doesn't have that level of like mainstream appeal, if that makes sense. So I think there's very few people doing a documentary that is like super well edited and made for the general community to understand. I think me and Ender are some of the only exceptions. And even me, the last time I dropped the documentary was May 2024. But guys, in the first week of March, there's going to be a massive documentary that I drop. Well, it's not massive; it's 17 minutes. But in my opinion, it is the best video. It is the best video that I made that's under 20 minutes, and it's going to come out in the next week. So watch out for that. It covers a player that no one's ever heard of, or barely anyone's ever heard of. But man, his story is really interesting, and people are going to like this one. Let's just say that. Who do you think it's going to be on? If it's someone who like barely anyone's heard of, but you think that they're good enough for me to make a documentary on, who do you think?
Oh my god, I remembering the player. I don't remember their nickname, but it was like the how it is like the social experiment, where like the top players just sat at one
account. You're talking about Core, right?
Yeah.
I just made a Core documentary.
That one I know. Yeah, I just like if I remember that, and about like I know one like person who is like in community for so long, and actually like the person who beat the 9 circles in like and a half a million attempts because of his like his medical conditions. It is like Bryce Jamison Wells, yeah. Like 400,000 attempts, mental disability and like such. He is like actual inspiration for many people after this completion. If I like just something that's just clicking in my head, and
yeah, well, I'll give you a hint. It's a pre-2015 player.
So oh my god!
Before 2015.
Oh my god! Okay, I actually don't remember many people at that era. I was like in like I was like in 4th grade.
Like I said, no one knows who this guy is. If you look at this guy's channel, let me see how much subscribers this guy's channel is, because he does technically have a YouTube channel. I'll tell you how much subscribers he's currently at right now. Let me see here. He has 200 subscribers, so no one's heard of this guy. But trust me, man.
Okay,
when I tell this guy's story, it's gonna hit like a nuke.
Yeah, you hooked me up. Okay, I'm actually excited to see it. Oh, right. And like actually in terms of content, like before I started the stream, I told you about like the revision of moderation and security system of Geometry that I'm doing right now. I launched the survey on like Twitter and other platforms to seek the seek the answer from people to see what they want to add or like revamp in the system, because this video, I'm actually doing it for the video. This will be my first full-length video, and actually getting inspiration from many people. Like yeah, and like the funny thing is like actually my main inspirations here is like FitMC, because like I like his structure of the video itself. Yeah, and something like Semifying, of course, and like Mr. Kotovsky in Russian side of YouTube, because like Mr. Kotovsky is actually a documentary channel. His recent video about the most unhinged and rule-breaking levels in Geometry Dash is actually not restricted by any means, showing really quirky stuff, I should say, for YouTube, but it's not actually restricted, and because of like some things he did to exploit the system itself, like the YouTube system moderation. So it's actually pretty neat to see, and he's doing like let me see in like before this video, what was his video like? Okay, let me see. Okay, Mr. Kotovsky. His last video before the unhinged video is what, like 2 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. They're all documentaries in length of like 30 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I will say, I've never heard of this guy because I guess he speaks a different language. But someone from a different language that I think is worth shouting out. I mean, I have a hard time understanding his content because honestly, I should know Spanish better, but I don't. Gerson Gaming makes pretty interesting videos from to my knowledge.
Oh
He
yeah,
speaks
no,
Spanish,
yeah.
but he's probably my favorite Spanish YouTuber in the GD community.
Yeah, like actually, like the Kotovsky have the English dub for his video. So, and by the way, like
No,
no,
that could be interesting to check out.
yeah, why does people don't make dubs on their videos? Because like, come on, like if you can speak on different languages, just make a dub for your video. You just reach more audience. Come on,
Okay.
my
The reason I don't is,
yeah, go on.
yeah. The reason I don't is, one, I'm lazy. I procrastinate on literally everything. Two, I can't really speak another language aside from English well. I can speak Spanish, but people would be like, gringo, gringo, tú eres un gringo, right? So,
Okay.
listen, no. I am ethnically Hispanic. That's what I will say. But I should be able to speak Espanol better, but it is what it is. Let me think here. Okay, yeah. So one, I'm lazy. Two, I'd have to, I guess pay someone else to consistently voice themselves as me. And three, for videos that feature other people like Colin, Voxcat, or King Samla. I mean, how do you find someone who sounds like fucking Voxcat? You know, it's just impossible. And then like I would also have to like sort of install all the music and sound effects that I've used on my videos to be able to make those dub tracks perfectly sync like my videos currently do. I don't know if you've watched my videos, but in at least the past like 3 years, I've made it a point, maybe even past 4 years, I've made it a point that pretty much everything syncs perfectly to like the cuts and backgrounds. I don't know if you noticed that when watching my videos, but the music sync there is an unfathomably intentional. It does take me a bit, but man, once I nail it, it makes my videos super satisfying to like listen to. I don't think most people notice it because I don't get a lot of comments on it, but I do put a lot of effort into that. So yeah.
Yeah, that I actually noticed it in some like sorts. I've noticed like the music sync is actually great, and actually great transitions, man. Like seriously.
Yeah.
So, like in my video, I will like, of course, I will dub it to Russian, like, of course. But like the main thing about the video I'm making is that this video actually have a potential to change things in the community and the game itself. Because this video we buzzed to RobTop directly with the idea that community provides, and we actually can see like some changes. Because I have actually potential to speak with the man himself about this topic, so I really hope that this video goes well and reach out many people to make them like actually reconsider some things about the game itself. Because like we all love this game, we all passionate of this game, but this game sucks in terms of like internals, and you can agree with this.
Yeah. I mean, like if someone found like someone recently found a fucking backdoor that apparently gives you access to everyone's IP and email. I can't tell you how fucking annoyed I am by that. It is deeply annoying that exists, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I've just got
But
like some
this game has a bad
leaks,
history with. This game has a bad history with security, things like the team hacks incident, the fact that accounts pre like 2017 were stored in legitimate like plain text that is pretty much entirely accessible by team hacks, which is why we don't know who owns certain accounts like Timeless Real, or these accounts that have just been easily like manipulated. Like I Am Cody is owned by someone who's not Cody. And well, if you're wondering, right, like okay, my main thing is I probably wouldn't want to be a mod because right now like it just seems kind of like more trouble than it's worth. I think if I was a mod though, like here's what I would want to change Geometry Dash, right? RobTop made a really good decision recently when he added unregistered names back to many old players. He talked to a member of Restoration Union, and this guy sent him things, right? So if you look at things like Level Easy, before it used to be Level Easy by Dash because that account was like pseudo wiped in the team hacks incident, but now it's Level Easy by Cody, as it should be, right? And he did that with a lot of old names like Roadboast or whatever. So to me, I was thinking if I was mod, one, I would want to change this so that any green user is clickable, and then much like in Better Info, you get to just see if a level is you get to see if a level in Better Info is like what green account is connected to. Because right now you can only click on yellow accounts to see the catalog of their levels.
Yeah.
And I want to click on green accounts as well. That and I would also make an effort to give these old accounts back to the creators, because it's weird that people like Cody have to be on an account called like G Ginninder instead of, you know, his fucking OG Cody account, which has level easy with 101 million people. We've pretty much proven that this guy is Cody, but he still just will never have access to his old green account, which to me is like a total waste. In my opinion, we should also merge accounts of certain people who I think it would be more interesting to merge. Like, for example, the real Darnock fell out of the leaderboard, but if you counted all the levels that he posted in his Darnock 2 era, he would probably still be on the leaderboard because he had like 30 creator points on Darnock 2. That, and let me think, there was like one more thing. Okay, I think literally every single level that's been unrated in the past should be looked at, and RobTop, because RobTop is nowadays fine with just fucking updating levels to make sure that they're up to par. I think it'd be really worth noting, like looking at old like unrated levels and seeing like, okay, well, if the creator has a secret way, could we patch this secret way to maybe make this a playable level again? Or if a level like Siege Warfare, for example, Siege Warfare was unrated due to being impossible due to a certain bug fix update that RobTop had. That's RobTop's fault, not Experience D's fault. Siege Warfare should come back. That level was awesome, right? But RobTop should take a good long look at like every level that's been unrated or a mod, right? That's why I'm saying that would be my job as a mod, looking at these old levels and thinking like, how could we reintegrate these back into the community? That and looking at deleted levels, in my opinion, would be really interesting, because Restoration Union has made a big effort with an account called Compendium to bring back a lot of levels from the grave, right? Levels that should be played, but for some reason just sort of aren't, right? Things like old updates for levels, or just many interesting levels in general are lost media or whatever, right? But these guys have partially been able to bring a lot of these back, right? Nowadays, you can't delete a Geometry Dash level if it's rated and has like over 1,000 downloads, unless you have like special permission from RobTop. But I was thinking, how interesting would it be to somehow restore these levels with their old IDs, especially since some of them are unjustly deleted by certain Geometry Dash server purges? And how interesting would it be if these levels were like somehow playable to the community again? So I think there would be a lot of things for mods to do in terms of bringing old levels back to the community, and yeah.
Okay, I will consider that, by the way, to adding, because like I really like the idea, because
Yeah.
why not? Like RobTop can move levels from one place to another, like the Shadow Realm account, okay?
Yeah, it's not even just moving accounts, by the way. He can straight up manipulate the idea of a level. We know this because Embed, I believe, in the 40 million thing, someone apparently botted their way to hit like the 40 millionth ID, but then it was proven that they botted somehow, so they gave the level to like Embed, because I think Embed won some sort of randomization contest, or I think he had the closest ID to 40 million that wasn't 40 million, right? So RobTop can outright change the idea of the level, so which makes me wonder, like, why should these old levels, like some of them which were unjustly deleted in purges, and I don't mean just rated levels, I mean like unrated levels too, right? There's a ton of unrated levels, like for example, everything I uploaded back then in 1.9, which don't exist on the servers nowadays because they were under 1,000 objects. But people have been able to restore these levels through things like the GD history, like sending in their save files, right? Because certain save files cover a ton of different levels. So yeah, I think just in general, my least favorite aspect of RobTop in terms of how he manages servers is how sort of quick the server is to purge a lot of its own history pre 1.8. Obviously, there's nothing he could do about this nowadays, but just the fact that like you could delete a rated level that was like historically significant to the community, and there's not only zero backup, but people who do have like backups of their accounts, you can only see the levels that they've saved, and like only like 20 levels, like the first 20 levels. Like that is an absurdly low amount. And did you know that back in the day, like pre 1.5, you had to delete a level off of your thing to have it not save on your phone, which I understand why he put it down to 50, but then he put it down again to like 21 and then down to 20. So it's just like, he's doing too much with that. Like that's why like Geometry Dash history pre like 1.8 often feels very shittily preserved. It's because it kind of is. There's literally like there's like 2 or 3 videos in the 2013 era. By that I mean like literally entire 2013 era, where people genuinely like aren't just every playing it, and they look at levels that are like in the most downloaded tab, for example, right? And these videos have some of the only looks into these tabs that are now just mostly lost to time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like to be completely fair, like RobTop didn't knew that it will be like his life before, like
No,
for
yeah,
forever.
this isn't a criticism of RobTop.
So yeah, it's
It
just
just
actually
doesn't think
like
about all.
it's like oversight that's justifiable, but not like the recent one of the recent like server purchases where he just said like, oh yeah, I have backups, I will like backup levels. How many years are come? Like 5 years? Yeah, like 5 years ago he said
Yeah,
that.
dude, I think
So
RobTop's such a bad procrastinator. I kind of relate to him on that end. You know what I mean? I'm a bad
yeah,
procrastinator too. But it's pretty crazy when I look back at things like Sub-Zero in December, right? Like Sub-Zero came out in December, and I'm thinking, dude, 2.2 would have been fire as fuck if it was just the Sub-Zero features. I don't know why he didn't just drop it with that, but no, he had to like add like platformer, multiplayer. He had to add fucking everything to 2.2, and it's like, damn, bro, 2.2 could have just been a perfectly like fine like mid-sized 2.1 update that comes out like shortly after Bloodlust. But I'm fine with how things ended up. I think the fact that 2.2 was so big has ended up benefiting the community in the long term, which I don't think was RobTop's intention, but I think it's played out that way.
yeah, I agree. And like in terms of like the system itself, like everyone hates even the moderators hate the rating system right now. Like it is like straight ass, to be completely honest. We have so many levels, so many notable levels that should be rated, but not because of like because it was rated by only one person. It works like Prayer 1.9, but not working now because like the community
Community is just way
grown
too
up.
big, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, like community is so big. Like, I would say that the Geometry Dash community is the biggest closed community of all gaming history. Like, this community is extremely large, but so closed and tied up together. Like, I've never seen the community like this before.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've seen some people where their solution is to like rate way more levels, and I'm not sure if I'd go to specifically that point because at a certain point you can only play so many like rated levels a day. But to me, it was crazy back then to see things like Tidal Wave take like months to be rated. It's like literally everyone in the community wants this to be rated. I get if RobTop doesn't personally like the level, but it's crazy to not rate a level that's like considered to be the hardest and has passable decoration. I get that it's a non-NG song, and then he just ended up rating it eventually anyway. So it is pretty crazy that entire community's like creative output can be just controlled by RobTop, even though I think he's often pretty good at doing it. Like people say stuff like, "Oh, there shouldn't be such a thing as legendaries and mythics," and I'm thinking, are you crazy? No, those are great. Can you imagine living in 1.9 where you're funny game and you drop Death Moon and then you have to be put on the same rating as like some random flappy level? It's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just both featured levels. No, man. Death Moon obviously, of course, is fine. Nowadays it has like over 30 million downloads, but there's so many like slept on levels that would be less slept on if things like the legendary and mythic ratings had existed back then. And yeah. So I think legendaries and mythics 100% deserve to exist, especially mythics because if you're a mythic level, you pretty much automatically gets like 300,000 downloads, which means your level gets like a very fair shake in terms of like how the community perceives it. And I think that's great.
Yep. Yeah, like the inclusion of like legendary mythic and like actually benefits the community because like, but let be like completely fair. Like, what mythic levels do you remember?
The Towerverse 2, the Towerverse, Boss Rush, there's a Pixel Path 2, Quarion, Dead God Cult, Heavy Gears. Do you want me to keep going?
Okay, fair. I don't remember much. Yeah, heavy
Data
gear.
Harness, Funhouse, Space Invaders,
Oh, Space Invaders.
Button Masher.
By the way,
Do I keep going?
Button Masher.
Shenanigans.
But by the way, Button Masher is not a mythic in my eyes. Not at all.
Okay, so look, here's the thing. I kind of agree with you, but I actually also agree with the decision to make it mythic. And that sounds weird, but I think what Button Masher represents in terms of the community is actually way more important. And that's the finalization of the extremely successful Geometry Dash and No Copyright Sounds collaboration. To me, this entire thing just works both because No Copyright Sounds realized that like, oh, we just get our songs instantly exposed to millions of people in a community. This is insane power. Normally games have to buy some sort of like money like license. Like, oh, you want to use my song in your game? You pay me this X amount of dollars. And I'm sure RobTop paid No Copyright Sounds like a significant amount of money to be able to include their stuff. But at least
Really
No Copyright
much.
Sounds allows for this payment to go through, right? Now we have access to like thousands of songs as a community. And that's all boosted by the fact that No Copyright Sound sees how collaborating with GD just automatically gives them millions of downloads, right? And just so much attention to their songs. And then you see other music artists look at this and they're like, okay, well, what reason is there for me to not have my stuff on Geometry Dash if these levels just get millions of downloads and eyes to my music, right? That means there's literally no reason for most music artists to not have all their catalog unless they're already in some sort of like studio or like contract, right? Which is obviously why it's like you're not gonna see like the Toby Fox catalog or like fucking like I don't know any music artist like I don't know Ed Sheeran. You're not gonna see Ed Sheeran on the Geometry Dash thing, but you'll see a lot of these like sort of more internet based music artists that are more like in touch. Like recently, you have a huge expansion of a Good Kid band putting a lot of their music onto GD. And I think they see that partially spurred by the fact that all these levels in the past get millions of downloads. And now Good Kid, this indie band or whatever I think they are, now they have a level with like 6 million downloads. And it's like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Geometry Dash just gives this great opportunity for promotion with music artists. And to me, Button Masher sort of wraps all that up into one thing, right? Obviously, Button Masher doesn't have traditionally mythic decoration for most of it. Like the first 50% is honestly like a pixel level. But I actually think I think that's sort of fine, right? I think you know levels that are even in the pixel style have their own value in terms of the community, and I also think that Button Masher definitely does have mythic decoration, definitely in like the second half with like, especially the whole jumping through arcade machines bit. That's like genius stuff, right? And Button Masher is just super fun all throughout. So, would Button Masher be mythic if it was made by anyone else or in any other context? Probably not. But ultimately, mythic is determined by what RobTop deems to be mythic, and he can be really inconsistent with it. But you consistently see that like gameplay and extenuating factors has a huge influence on things. Like Experiment by Embed is not a legendary level in terms of decoration. It is legendary because of its gameplay, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
same with Towerverse. Towerverse is not mythic in terms of decoration, but mythic in terms of gameplay. It opened up Geometry Dash's world. This is the first time that people were like, oh whoa, I could probably make like a you know an open world game in Geometry Dash, and it'll probably you know be it opens the door for more interesting levels to come out, right? I've really been hoping that more people release things like the Towerverse, because just seeing that come out at the time was like mind blowing. Not just because it was the first mythic, but because I was like, this is exactly what I wanted 2.2 to be. So yeah, that's why I think Button Masher is it's fine that Button Masher is mythic. I think that's fine.
Yeah, and by the way, like the collaboration between like NCS and GD is actually great for content creators. Of course, like no corporate sounds. You don't need to like actually worry about you're losing the monetization or need to change the track in your video. So it's actually a extremely smart move for the like NCS and the NCS and the GD.
All
so
these other artists. You know,
yeah, and by the way, like I actually enjoyed when the first ever artist that got introduced into the new library system by RobTop is Camellia. Like this, yeah, and like the thing is about like the Camellia. You know that he tried to put his own work on Newgrounds, right?
Yeah, but Newgrounds has this whole like anti-sample policy that probably cooks people like Camellia.
Not the anti-sample, by the way. They just keep he just keep flagged as the impersonator. So he just like screw it. I hate this platform. I will not like publish my music here anymore. And like seeing his work, not all of his discography. He has like 1,500 songs right now. But like majority of his like popular songs are here just like crazy, okay? Like the inclusion.
No, I mean, people like Camellia and T-Pazlite, they have these contracts with other game makers often when making songs, which means that they can't legally put those songs, but they can put other songs that into GD. So yeah.
I want my Archaea songs in GD, please. Make a collaboration.
Yeah. RobTop was also really good with choosing people who've had past viral songs in the game, like for example, Leaf with Peaceful or Leaf with Aleph Null, right? He specifically chooses a lot of these artists that have like historical backing in GD, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like F777. Yeah. Like the F777, for example, he joined the library. Who else? The Frooms.
Did F7 joining the library actually add anything? Because like I feel like he just always kind of
no. He
it.
adds many things, by the way. Like really, like half of his songs are not present in the Newgrounds. Like really, like he uploaded like 500 songs and like half of them are not presented in the Newgrounds.
I wouldn't
on
have
the
thought that.
Newgrounds.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so and like this is actually like a great bypass from the system that Newgrounds have. Yeah, Newgrounds is an absolutely great platform. It's like the only the art platform that I prefer as a content creator, like sort of, and as a seeker for inspiration, because this platform is a nest for art expression and like any form of expression, actually, like almost uncensored or like badass esque platform that actually a part of many people's childhood. Yours too, I guess. You played many Flash games here, as me as well as I.
By the way, can I take like a break for like a minute?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yeah, of course. And I actually need to take a break myself. So we'll be here in a minute.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Nice. Okay. A little break for the stream, a little break. Okay. We talked about the music, we talked about the videos on GD, we talked about levels, and about your content too. And like one thing I want to ask you, like as a GD veteran, you of course, you've for how long you playing this game?
Since I want to say like early 1.9 / late 1.8. I remember playing this game back in like October 2014. The way I was introduced to this game was that in after school, my friends were like playing Jumper or something, and I remember like asking them, "Yo, can I play the game? Can I play the game?" Right? Because back in the day, you weren't allowed to bring any like mobile devices to school. Not officially. Kids still did, but I wasn't one of them. So I was like, "Yo, can I play that game? That looks cool, right?" And then they were like, "Nah, man." I think they might have given me like one attempt, but then when I died, they like took it away because like, of course, it's their phone, right? So I was like, "Fuck, dude. I want to kick their ass now." So I decided to download Geometry Dash like Lite or whatever. And within the first day, I remember beating like the first 3 levels, and then very soon I was able to beat Jumper, and then very soon I was able to beat Easy Demons like the Nightmare and the Lightning Road. Even back then, those were like universally agreed upon to be like the most popular and easiest levels, right? So I remember my first few demons were I think the Nightmare, Lightning Road. I want to say Speed Racer was one of the first 5, but then like Theory of Everything, Club Step, those, and yeah, it was all uphill from there. That was how I was introduced to GD. So yeah.
Yeah. I just like looked at the 4PDA forum, like the Russian mobile forum. I just like saw
Yeah.
this level and it was like, well, not the level, the game, and it's like, okay, let's give it a try, and just download it when it was like at second grade. I was
Yeah.
so into technology back then. Like, I had like one of the first like smartphones by this time. Like, not the iPhone, but the HTC phone, and like, what's like, damn, it's so cool. And I've actually like spoke with some noticeable people, I'd say, like Lyot, the ice man who create like time pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So he's actually a Russian guy who just like stuck at the like for PDA and just vanished for some reason. Like, by
Yeah.
the way, do you know that Ocular Nebula is Russian too?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so like actually insane to know that some people from my community made something for this game.
Why do you think Ocular Nebula has such crazy song names?
I don't know. I really wanted to get in touch with him because I have his contacts, but he's really busy right now. So, but eventually, I really want to speak with him, as well as Alex Payne 24, one of the like prominent members of 1.9 era, is a
Yeah, I know
Russian
Alex.
guy too. Yeah. Oh, and I just as we're speaking about the nostalgia and like back then times, do you think that Misanthrope is actually a wasted collab?
Okay, so I wouldn't say okay, it's really it's hard to define waste in this case because I think Misanthrope's purpose eventually changed over time. At first it was meant to be a top 1 collab with like only a few notable names there, right? But eventually they added a sort of song expansion. Suddenly parts that used to be 20 seconds long like Riot were like mostly cut so that Riot only has like a 3-second part because honestly like a solid like 80% of Riot's part was like pretty shit. And they modified that level to the extent where they just sort of kept adding names over and over. And nowadays, the point of Misanthrope has entirely shifted to it's pretty much just can we get as many legendary and old names on this level as possible, right? Here's a 1 second part to Michigan. Here's a 1 second part to Sono 924. Here's a 1 second part to Cyclic. And this is a crazy roster that you'll never see again. But unlike a level like maybe Limbo or Bloodbath, where they're intentional with the creators that they pick and each creator supplies their value in their own way, you don't really see the same thing with Misanthrope. Like inviting Cyclic to a thing is cool, but if he's only gonna have like a 1 second part and it's like a dash orb, it's like okay, I guess Cyclic placed a dash orb. That's cool. But yeah, Misanthrope nowadays is just pretty much can we put as many like crazy ass names on this as possible because so many of the people in Misanthrope, probably in the dozens at this point, are pretty much uncontactable nowadays. So yeah, like an example of how much Misanthrope like pads the roster is the final triple spike in the level has 3 spikes. One is decorated by Darnok, one is decorated by Zenthic, and one is decorated by Viprin. This is crazy to have 3 of the like only like 9 or 10 ever top 1 creators just create a fucking triple spike, but that's what they have there. And
Nah, that's actually
Misanthrope is
great.
cool in that way.
Nah.
But, yeah. It depends on what you mean by wasted collab. Do I think Misanthrope is going to be super memorable aside from the fact that it has a million names? Probably not, but like that's fine. Not every level needs to be like a orbit or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Misanthrope is one of those things where it's like that's the kind of roster you should split into like 20 different rosters and see which of these rosters work well with each other, right? Like I could imagine like maybe like for example like Sono 924 and Cyclic specifically making for a sort of interesting gameplay duo. Like what the fuck would they be able to cook? Who knows, right? Who knows because nowadays Sono 924 is uncontactable and kind of ghost. But yeah. Sono 924 is a very not very known layout called Deviation, which is just
I know
weird.
this layout. Yeah.
You see this guy who's from 1.6 try to create with all these 2.1 features, and it's like, well, he creates something that's completely unlike anything else in the game. So yeah. So I don't know if Misanthrope being wasted is the right word, but I would have used that roster differently. I think most people would have used the roster differently. Heck, I think most people in Misanthrope would have used that roster differently because that level was initially going to be some sort of like red and purple high quality level, but I think people were like kind of sick of the whole like generic like hellish theme, and 2 the creators just didn't give a fuck. They largely did not create or procrastinate on their parts. So nowadays Misanthrope's going for a more retro like 1.9 2.0 thing to also like complement the roster, with people like Zynamo or like Cyrillic, you know what I mean? These creators who really couldn't make they couldn't make it like an epic level nowadays, but they could make like a rate worthy level back in 1.9 or 2.0. So yeah, that's part of the process. And if you look at
Yeah,
the modern Miss roster, it has so many people who are just they don't play Geometry Dash anymore, like iBlade or Zobros, who Zobros probably will
Zoro
have a
is
part in
playing,
Insider.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to say that. Is that insider info? I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, Zobros will have like a 1 second decoration part, to my knowledge.
And
I don't think
like,
it's insider info. Like the Misanthrope server has like 200 people. I'd be surprised if this news hasn't hit the community in some way. But yeah.
yeah, I by the way, like, fun fact, I was in the Misanthrope server, like the old one before like the change or in style, like before like the complete revamp of the decoration. I still have some old parts, by the way. So I was an optimizer when this was a reliable thing in like 2.1, when people couldn't manage the objects properly, and seeking for the people who actually can preserve the feeling of the part, still having the optimization going on. And like the second funniest thing, that actually I did an optimization for the Emerald Realm, but not credited for some fucking reason.
I mean, yeah, so much people probably worked on it that they lost track of it.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe, yeah. And like, okay, and I have like one final question before we wrap it up, because we are actually approaching the 2-hour mark right now. Actually insane. So
You could ask away, man. I don't even care if we hit the 4-hour mark, bro.
yeah,
It's all good.
but yeah, but I have like, it is actually approaching
everyone's busy except
12
me.
a.m. Yeah. So
Well, I mean,
okay.
when I stream, you'll hear a lot more MatMart words. I guess nowadays MatMart words are rarely said.
Yeah, it's like an honor for me to hear words from you, man. Okay, so the final question is about I mean, you didn't said about the future of your content. I've asked you this question before, but you didn't said what do you want to do next. Like, you said it vague.
Got this thing where I randomized the portals in every Rob top level, and then eventually when Moldy released his video, he got like, nowadays that video has like 5 million views, but I released my random portals video like a few months after. Obviously, it's my fault for taking like a year to do something as basic as a random portals video. I had that video filmed in January, but it came out in like September or whatever. But by the time my thing comes out, it's like 700k views. So I don't really like telling my ideas directly to other YouTubers. Just because like I said, Moldy's one of my best friends. I don't think he's like copying me in bad faith or anything. Because I mean, a ton of other people were also doing random portals at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like who didn't have knowledge that I had this mod. But that's why I don't say my ideas directly. It's because if I know I'm gonna take like kind of long to do an idea, and someone else is gonna do it before me, they could do it. And yeah, so I prefer to be the first one to my own ideas. So all I could do is subtly hint at the fact that you will receive more gameplay challenge style content. You'll receive more documentaries. And depending on how I stream, I might become a more Vortrox style streamer where you see a lot more, I guess, clippable moments from my stream. Just with the content format I'll be doing. Let's just say that. Because I think at a certain point, I need to produce far more than what I'm doing right now. I think that's part of the reason that people like me are, that's part of the reason I placed last in the awards. It's because, I mean, if I only post like twice a month and I'm not Sputniks, people are gonna, forget I exist. Or no, I mean twice a year, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna directly say what my content ideas are, even though I have like at least 20 or 30 ideas going into the future. I will never run out of ideas. But yeah, they're all extremely difficult to execute, and they take time in their own way. So yeah.
We're actually waiting for them. I'm waiting for them because like I'm so hooked up of your content. Like, it is not glazing, but like generally, you like in the past when you just upload frequently, you want of the GT YouTubers I've watched constantly, like seriously. Then like I've started watching Moldy, like Stella and GD, and etc. But you just like introduced me to the field of the like challenge videos and like content that we have nowadays, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I was probably like me and Hardcore Challenge were probably like the first videos of like what I'd call the new generation of Geometry Dash content, where it's more like edited, it's more focused on the algorithm. Because before me, like pretty much everyone was either doing like stream highlights or like I think Colin might have been one of the only people, like Colin and C1997, obviously, who were doing like not gameplay based videos, like without much of a script. But yeah, I'd probably call myself like the first of this new generation of like Vortrox, Moldy, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But I don't think most people see me as the first of my generation because I didn't really execute on my. There's something called the pioneer effect, where whoever's first to something gets the most from it. And I wasn't. I was first to doing this like sort of like scripted style of challenge content, but I'm not the best executor of it. You know what I mean? After I dropped Hardcore and Worst Levels, pretty much every other video I dropped in 2021 didn't get that much views. And then even after that, in like 2022 and 2023, you have people like Moldy and Vortrox beating me in upload count by far, right? So then they become the new biggest names of the generation, and people like me become maybe not forgotten, but less talked about. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to change that in 2026, but then again, I say that every year, so
No, the
hopefully this is the year.
2026 is actually a year for GD, and it's no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really thankful for you for coming. This is actually pretty interesting conversation, kind of bumpy one, but still, I've enjoyed it. And I've actually noted some things for my future. So yeah, thank you so much for coming here.
MatMart is interesting, Pog.
Yep, of course you do, man. Of course you do.
Let's stall this for like a minute or two so it hits the 2 hour mark. Come on, man, you can do it.
Okay. I'm a professional yapper, of course. I'm doing
Do you
this.
have any other questions?
Okay, like let's do some
What's
blitz
your favorite MatMart
questions.
video?
Whoa. Of course the spike one. I really enjoyed it, and
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Oh my god, I just like. Okay, the civilization video is kind of okay for me. It's like I can actually remember all of the hardcore challenge because it's like the first video that actually hooked up to your content. What else? What else can I think? The controversy that changed GD forever. Yes, I remember the topic, like the title of this video. This is actually a crazy one. Like I really enjoyed it,
bro. I gotta say, thank God the awards put me in this year, bro, because I was so disappointed that video wasn't in the 2024 one.
Yeah.
The controversy that changed. I was like appalled. I was like, bro, what do I have to do to get into the awards if this isn't enough? And I think the ultimate answer is just that I probably barely had anyone like put me in the forums because I was sort of irrelevant back then, and nowadays I'm still kind of irrelevant. So I don't know. But
what's your problem? Oh yeah, the problem with free GD apps. You're 6.5 million views. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think under some definitions, it's like technically the most viewed Geometry Dash documentary of all time. But that depends on if you consider it a commentary or a documentary. Because Colin has more viewed like commentary style videos, but no one has a more viewed documentary video if you count the free apps video. But it is more of like a commentary video than documentary.
More, yeah, I should say so. Yeah, and like. Okay, what was the most popular Colin video? Okay, what not to put in your GD level 7 years ago? Okay, the iconic one. Yeah.
Yeah, but the one I'm more thinking of is how Geometry Dash introduces mechanics. To my memory, that one has a hella views.
How GT
Yeah, how Geometry Dash, that's his third most popular video, 7.8 million views.
Yeah, 7.8. Yeah. So this is actually the most viewed one. And to our marks, but I want to say one more thing about the semifying. The semifying actually an interesting example of the person who silently converted to one of the names of like absolutely different community. Like I'm actually watching his streams on Trackmania. Dude, he's so good at it. Like seriously.
Yeah, I mean, personally, if I was samifying, actually, okay, I don't know if I should say anything. I don't know. To me, it's like I look at Trackmania stuff and I'm like, I don't know. You left GD for this? I'm not like judging or anything. Like Trackmania is probably like really fun, like especially if you're like optimized at it. But it's like to me, there's like so much shit you could do, and there's so much less shit you could do in Trackmania. So I have to. I wonder how long would it take for the Trackmania. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, my OBS just tweaked the fuck out.
Yeah, you just like lagged out for a second.
Oh no, my OBS got cooked. Holy. I don't know. Let me. I hope that's saved. I hope that's okay. Anyways. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. So what I was gonna say with samplifying was nah, man. I don't know. Like, there's so much stuff you could do in Geometry Dash. So to me, like going to Trackmania seems like kind of crazy, but I mean, maybe there's stuff to do in Trackmania that I didn't think about. Trackmania does, of course, occupy that whole like, oh, you could do like a world record speedrun thing, like summoning Salt or whatever. So yeah, I wish Samifying the best of luck, but I miss his GD videos, bro. I miss him so much. His
Yeah,
GD videos were so big.
yeah, I agree. So on that note, we're actually finishing the podcast right now. So yeah. So again, thank you so much for being with me, so sticking with, for yapping with me for 4 hours. Yeah, this is actually kind of sick.